Now, Joey Jones, as you know him well, is a retired U.S. Marine, and we're very proud to have him as a Fox News contributor. You've been with us a great deal. Your perspective has been key and fundamental. After what you've just heard from the Secretary of State, what are your feelings tonight?
Yeah, first I want to start by saying my thoughts and prayers and my love and support and everything you need is with the families of the 13 heroes we lost. I'm easy to find. If any of those families need anything from me, please let me know. I'm there to help you in any way I can, any organization that I support or know. We're here for you. Secondly, I'd like to say to the thousands of people that fled Afghanistan because you helped us and you believed in us, we're here to welcome you, and anything I can do for you, please let me know. And lastly, I'll say for every single veteran out there and Gold Star family who bled and shed pounds of flesh like I did for this war, I love you and I appreciate you. I can't tell you tonight that your service and sacrifice meant what you thought it did when you were there. I can't tell you tonight that it meant that our country would be safer. I can't tell you tonight that it meant we would search down and kill the people that tried to kill us, because I just don't know if that mission is accomplished. But what I can tell you is every single one of us that bled and either took some fainting breaths or even last breaths there, we did it because we knew the people to our left and right would do it for us. And if that's what it took, if it took us dying so they would go home, then by God, that was worth it. So I want everyone out there to understand that's what it was worth it. I don't know if the mission laid out by our leaders and our government was accomplished or even full-heartedly attempted to be accomplished. I just don't know that. I don't trust politicians, and I don't trust this type of diplomacy any further than I can throw it, and a guy with no legs can't throw real far. But I will tell you, I believe in the men and women I served with. I believe in the pureness of our intent. And when the Secretary of State stands up there and tells me that the people who killed my brothers and took my legs can earn our trust, well, thank God this is television news and not just a casual conversation, because I'd have words for him nobody wants to hear.
Well, I also know some pretty harsh words, which we both are going to keep to ourselves. I can tell you, sir, this is, though, a reminder that leadership matters, doesn't it? You know that as a military man. We know that in life. This is leadership matters. We know this is not a reflection of this country or of our military or of the American people. And that is what is so shocking, that we are willing to make sacrifices. You did so. And everyone else is willing to. What's shocking is none of this had to happen. This was not a natural end to what this. We all wanted to be out of there, but not like running away to Qatar, not running away and gaslighting the American people about what is or is not happening, let alone abandoning. We abandoned people with an arbitrary deadline. Is that how do we process that? What do you say to people?
I just hope the American people understand something that's really special about this country. Blood is the easiest currency to acquire. We offer it up freely. We volunteer to serve in this military, and I don't know many that volunteered in the llast 20 years that didn't beg to go on a deployment. You can get blood real easy, but the interest on that payment, the interest on that currency lasts a lifetime. Because those are broken hearts that ripple throughout this country. And so the next time a politician stands at that bully pulpit and promises you something like a war, ask questions and have consequences at the ballot box, because we know now, regardless of party, we can't trust them. And before we send our sons and daughters, we need to know why and where they're going and how they're going to get back.
This is completely, clearly nonpartisan. I'm a partisan for America. Absolutely. You are as well. This is about the human condition and what the greatest country on earth, which we wake up in every single day, thank God, is capable of doing. Joey, I want you to listen to something from General McKenzie with CENTCOM, giving praise to the Taliban. Listen to this.
The Taliban have been very pragmatic and very businesslike as we have approached this withdrawal. They were actually very helpful and useful to us as we closed down operations. Absolutely
astounding. These are people who also are still, there's one family at least out there begging Joe Biden to get an American back who was kidnapped by the Taliban over a year ago. They're still holding Americans. What do you make of a man in uniform who makes a statement like that about the enemy?
That's
that you can say on television.
That's tough. Yeah. That's tough. I don't know that man. I didn't, as far as I know, I didn't serve under his command. I don't know what political pressure on his shoulders but I know what it means to be a Marine. I know what it means to bleed with men and women, and to hold their hand when they're taking their last breath, and to do everything I can, everything in me. If it means walking down and leaning over a bomb and taking a damn good guess to keep them alive, even if that means I get blown into pieces, that's okay. And I'll tell you right now, I'd never look them in the face, even if the President of the United States, who was my boss at the time, told me to, and say some trash like that about the people trying to kill them. You can say that you are proud of this mission we just accomplished as far as airlifting 100,000 people out of a country that's about to go to ruin, but to go so far as to be a spin doctor for an organization that literally tortures people, oppresses them, and kills them, how dare you, and how dare you ever look troops in the face again and order them into combat? You don't deserve it. You just don't get to do that. You don't get to play both sides of the ball when you put that uniform on and you ask our 18 and 19-year-olds to go bleed and die for this country. Even if we're smart enough to know it's a cause that doesn't mean anything to you, and I don't mean the general, but to our politicians, even if we're smart enough to understand the politics behind it, we raise our right hand and we do it because we do it with honor, and we do it because we love this country, and we do it because even if it's some partisan war, if it can keep our enemy at bay for one more day, that's worth it. And how dare you think that you can lead troops and stand up there and speak glowingly about the people who have tried to kill us for 20 years. How dare you do that?
It is shocking.
Hey, listen, if you want to withdraw and botch it, turn it into an evacuation,
sure, and
spin on that, that's okay. Listen, I am proud of the men and women that got everyone out of there.
Sure.
But to go so far as to brag on the Taliban, that's just, it's betrayal is what it is.
It is. And if there is a point where you have to do that, or you could resign in protest, where there is this understanding about what is appropriate, what decency really is. It's hard enough with everyone who served, you and your brothers and sisters, now watching this collapse, but then to praise the people as they stood there and aided al-Qaeda and aided bin Laden as we are just within a couple of weeks of the anniversary of September 11th. It is remarkable. It is also, sir, I think you would agree with me, unacceptable. God bless you, Joey. It is an honor to be even remotely associated with you. Keep up the great work. I know, of course, prayers for you and for everyone. It is difficult, but we're strong people. We know there needs to be some changes, and you're in the forefront of reminding us why. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. And don't forget about those still recovering from that bomb that weren't killed by it. We need to pray for them.
Yes, we've got a few of our troops I know have already been transferred here to the United States. Families are asking for prayers for the seriously injured, and that must be on our forefront of our minds as well. Thank you, Joy.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.